Hello folks, welcome to the Tasty Tiger. I'm your host, Dalton Youthy. Alongside me is
Chef Will.
Today we are going to be making our Cajun shrimp pasta.
Alright, so today, right away, we're going to start off with our pasta. We're going to get that into our pot that's already boiling with very hot water. I do that, Dalton. Alright, now I'm going to go over the ingredients today. So again, we're making Cajun shrimp pasta. Right here we have our shrimp. It is divine, cleaned, and the tail is removed. And then we have our 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil, our 1.5 teaspoons of salt for our water. And Dalton, want to go ahead and add that in there? All right, we have our 1/2 cup of half and half, or heavy whipping cream, or heavy cream. We have our 1/4 cup of Parmesan, our tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, and then we got 1.5 teaspoons of butter, and then some spinach for our plating at the end. All right, so now we are going to start off and start our shrimp. Okay, so right away we're going to turn on the skillet. We're going to get it to about a medium-high heat. So we're going to dump our shrimp into a bowl. And what we're doing here is we're going to mix some olive oil and Cajun seasoning with our shrimp, and we're going to saute that. Ready? So he's now added the olive oil and then the Cajun seasoning. Mix that around, just kind of stir it around, make sure it's evenly coated. Right now I'm going to add the butter while he is mixing up the seasoning and olive oil. Want to hand me a spatula, Dalton? I'm going to turn this heat down a little bit so we don't burn our butter. And Cajun seasoning, originally it's from Louisiana, very common cooking there. I'm going to turn this down more. We just started doing the Cajun shrimp pasta. I've had it at Oh So Good and Garrettson, and I thought I would make that today. Everyone thinks of Cajun as being spicy, really spicy. It really isn't. It's a mixture of other seasonings, a little bit of cayenne, garlic, salt, paprika, all other different seasonings. All right, we could go ahead and add the shrimp now.
For the shrimp, you want to make sure the shrimp is always in direct contact with the pan. You don't want any shrimps just kind of sitting on top of each other. You want them all in the pan at once. That way they all cook evenly.
You want to make sure that butter is evenly spread around the pan as well. That way it's not on just one side. Again, this shrimp is divine, clean and tail removed. It's going to be nice and tender. And you want to cook the shrimp for about 2 to 3 minutes each side. 2 minutes if the shrimp is a little smaller, 3 if it's a little bigger.
So you want a golden brown color on them.
We're going to turn up the heat a little bit. Can't really hear that simmer. All right, there we go. All right, while he's doing that, I'm going to chef him out some spinach. We're going to use this for our plating at the end. I'm just going to go with about 2 or 3 leaves, should be fine. I'm going to kind of just stack them up like this. All right, and then we're going to roll them either this way or that way. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go this way. Now that we have them rolled up, we're going to go knuckles down. We're just going to chop them up. right. There we have our chef and ab. We're going to just add that to the top of our Cajun shrimp pasta at the end. I'm going to add this to a little bowl.
As you can start to see, shrimp is starting to get a good simmer to it.
And the shrimp, as it cooks, it's going to turn to a nice little orange color. Once it's done on that side, you want to flip one over.
Another tongue.
Flip one over. It's still not, it's starting to turn orange, but not quite yet, so it's got another minute or two left. And once it's cooking, it should tighten up even more than what it is right now. You don't want it too tight though, because if it's looks like it's a really tight C, it's going to be a little too chewy and not so tender. Alright. After this, we're going to take our shrimp off the skillet and add it into a bowl. And then we're going to make our sauce.
I'd say they're about ready to be flipped for a couple minutes or so. Make sure you get every single shrimp flipped.
Look at that.
Nice
Smells
golden
amazing.
brown color.
Work all the way. Alrighty. So looking dull.
Looking really good. You can see the Cajun's getting cooked too. Cooking onto the shrimp.
It's turning a nice little brown color as well from the seasoning.
And you can see there's still a lot of seasoning still on the bottom. We'll be using that when we make our sauce. There's our noodles.
There's our noodles. And it's very hot.
And once we take our shrimp off of the pan, we will take the heat down more. That way we can let the pan cool down a little bit, and then we'll be cooking our cream in the same pan so we get the seasoning or the flavor on all of the sauce.
You really start smelling that Cajun. It's very, very spicy, or not that spicy, just really getting into my senses. That right there. I'm gonna grab a plate. Put the noodles in here. After our,
You want to get these off?
yeah, take those off now. Tell it's kind of like a nice tight C, but it's not overdone. Right. Now we're going to add cream. Stir that in. Turn the heat down. Yeah. Wait a little bit. All right. Okay. Stir that in, Dalt. I'll kind of take it off the heat a little bit. You know. Lift it up.
You want to get all the extra seasoning and flavor that's been
Enhanced within the pan. We're going to add our cheese here soon. Alright, add the cheese. There we go. once we get this all mixed up, we're going to add our shrimp back into the pan, kind of just to get the shrimp involved with the sauce. And then once that's done, we'll have our dish. Add what's ever left in this here. Alright, we want to get this cream to thicken up here. It's almost it's there. Should we add our shrimp back in?
Relight our
Relight.
stove. Don't want it very high, though.
Don't want to
Overcook the
overcook.
cream.
It should be bubbling a little bit. We'll let that heat up just a little bit before we add our shrimp. And as you can tell, starting here, we're starting to see that cream bubble again. We want to make sure we keep stirring this as it's doing that. Smells amazing.
There.
All right.
I'm gonna add the shrimp.
Now we're gonna add our shrimp. Make sure it don't splatter and burn yourself. Once we evenly coat the shrimp, we're gonna put that back onto our noodles, and then we'll have our Cajun shrimp pasta. All right. Looks like it's evenly coated.
Yes, sir. Get all that sauce in there.
Turn that off.
I'm gonna grab that spoon.
There you go.
We'll just set the shrimp on here. And if you wanted to, you could mix all of your pasta together to look better. We are going to leave it like this. Get all them shrimp on there.
Alright, then we're just gonna
Finally, we're going to put our spinach to garnish our dish. Like that.
there you go. You got your Cajun shrimp pasta. Thank you for tuning in to the Tasty Tiger. I'm Chef Will. This is Chef Dalton. Tune in next week.
Thank you.